Hey friends, I thought I would try something different today. I thought I would film while I put on my makeup and just talk a little bit about how I do my makeup since so many of you like my posts. I, of course, don't have anything set up within reach. It's going to be interesting, I'm sure. I have not I have cleansed, but I have not moisturized today. So I am going to start off with a primer. Today I'm going to be using the Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer. This came in one of my many subscription boxes. I couldn't tell you which one, couldn't tell you how long it's been sitting here. I've never used it. So today we're going to try it out. I usually just put on primer with my fingers. I don't know how everyone else puts on their primer, but my fingers have always worked for me. I probably didn't even know that primer existed until a couple of years ago. I was always a person that put on makeup and did adventurous things with makeup, but I didn't know makeup was a hobby until I met someone who had makeup as a hobby. And then I got much more into it and I learned a whole lot. So I started buying new products, trying out new things, trying new techniques. And I have a lot of fun with it. So if you don't know, makeup is absolutely a hobby. My hair is bugging me. Let me try to find something to remedy that. Hair's out of my face now. That should help. Alright. So I've got my primer on. Next I do foundation. I might try a new one of those as well. A while back I bought some Morphe foundation. And then only after that heard some people say some things that weren't very positive about it. So we'll try it out and see how it goes. See if I have those same problems. Just trying to figure out which. I have two different shades. They're actually pretty similar, but they're not exactly similar. I think I'm going to try the F150 today. I have always used sponges to put on my makeup. Here you can see my dog. Say hi, Gracie. Let me get her situated real quick. So I've always used sponges to put on my foundation. I didn't know people use brushes to put on foundation until I got into the hobby, so to speak. I've tried it and I don't like it. So I still just use sponges. Now I have changed my sponge technique, but I still use sponges. Something I've changed is I use a silicone sponge to start off with, since it doesn't absorb any of the foundation. And I just kind of smear it into kind of all the different places. And this camera angle isn't really working. I'm just getting my arm in the way, but y'all can, if you don't like it, don't watch it. It won't be in the way the entire time. And I put foundation everywhere. I do my eyes with it. I do everything. I know some people don't use foundation on their eyes and just do eye primers or concealers, but I kind of use everything. I'll smear that around until it's pretty good. And then I still just use cheap sponges. I absolutely have decent, nice sponges, and I use them for certain things. But just for this, I still just use cheapy sponges. You can get like $2 and get a whole pack, probably like 50 different assorted sizes. And I just use this to clean it up, blend it out. I don't I don't like a huge layer of foundation on my face. I've never... Because some people will do multiple layers of foundation to build it up, and some people feel the need to do that because of their skin type or skin issues that they have. And I've just always been lucky with my skin. I don't have those problems. So I'm just using the foundation to give a nice even base to everything, and I don't have to do extra layers or build it up. I don't really have redness to cover up. I don't have acne scars. And I can already tell you I'm not liking this foundation. I mean, I've not touched it with powder or anything, and it is already making me look incredibly dry. So maybe some of my powders can make that not look so ratchet. You see what I'm talking about? Like, it just went from looking nice to looking dry and flaky. So Morphe is probably not hanging around for a while. Alright, so that is my foundation. Next, we'll do some contour if you want. Sorry, I recently got a new makeup organizer. I'm trying to remember where everything is. Yeah, we'll do some contour. Alright, so, and the lighting is terrible. If I turn on the overhead light that you can see there, then that's kind of all you can see. And today is very rainy and stormy, so I'm not getting a lot of natural light through my windows. So hopefully in future videos that lighting situation will be a little bit better. Today for contouring, I'm going to be using some Wet n Wild contour sticks. So they're creamy. Sometimes I do powder, sometimes I do cream, sometimes I do both. Today I'm feeling like the cream. Contouring is another one of those things that I didn't really know about and didn't do for a long time. And then when I tried them, I was scared of it and didn't really do it well. And then finally, after I watched some videos of some people, I got a little bit braver and was like, screw it. Let's just do it anyway. Because you can always change stuff. If you mess something up, there's a way to fix it. You can, if it's bad enough, you can just take it off and start over. But hopefully we don't have to do that. So I just put some of that in the places where I want it. And I'm just going to take a sponge and blend it up. I don't really go down with it. I always go up with it. I don't know what these areas are called. Those are just the areas that, when I first started doing it, was on the back of the powder set that I got. And then when I started watching videos of other people doing it, it also tends to be the areas that they do it. So right now I'm doing the darker contour. And it's kind of underneath, right here on my cheeks, kind of underneath where I'm going to have my bronzer at. But also kind of chisels out your jaw lines a little bit as well. And these I don't care about as much. I'm just going back and forth. It just gives a little shadowing effect. And up here, supposedly supposed to make your forehead look kind of smaller. Just add a little dimension, I guess. Once again, I'm no expert at this. I just thought it would be fun to do since I often get comments on my makeup looks And I have a lot of friends that always ask me questions about how I do certain things. So I thought it would be fun to just film my routine of a full face of makeup with you. So that's my darker color in my contours. And then I'll do a lighter color. Once again, I'm just going to go in with these cream sticks and just go ahead and get it in all the areas that I'm going to contour. And I just realized I forgot to do the sides of my nose, so I'll come back to the sides of my nose after I get these blended in. Now, some people come down through here. I don't like the way that looks on me, so I always skip that area when I'm doing my contour. So again, I'm just going to go in with my spongy here. Also, if you're using cream products, liquid or cream products, try to always use those before you set anything with powder. Because sometimes if you go in and, I'm telling you, this foundation is whack. You see what this has done on my nose? It's driving me nuts. I don't like this Morphe foundation. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. We're going to roll with it because it's already on, but I don't like it. I'm just going to try to get in there with my sponge and some of my nose stuff. Alright, and I said I needed to go back in on my nose. So I feel like I was talking about something and I lost track of thought when that did that crazy thing on my nose. Oh, cream products and powder. So if you set things with powder and then try to put a cream over it, sometimes it just gets like muddy or doesn't really go on properly. So try to do all of your cream and liquid products before you set anything with powder. So here's my contouring. Now I'm going to I always put concealer under my eyes. I always have terrible purple under. Now I did use my Eye Bright Coffee Bean eye cream today. I said I didn't moisturize and I didn't, but I did use my eye cream. This is the first thing I've ever found that takes away any of my puffiness and purple under my eyes. That's really the only... I know I said I didn't really deal with skin conditions, but my eyes are always puffy and purple. So I am going to conceal. I recently did an order of just some e.l.f. products, and I purchased a couple colors of the hydrating camo concealer, and I actually really like these. I'm probably going to purchase more of them. They have a huge doe foot applicator, and they go on very nicely. They're super smooth. I just really like the way that they go on. I just kind of smear it around under there and kind of let it sit for a second. And then I just go in with another little sponge and blend it out. Sometimes I take what my sponge picks up and just put it over my eyelid. But I really am loving these e.l.f. hydrating camo concealers right now. And I'm bringing it down further than some of you might, but that way it's not just a streak of super light right there. I think it just kind of blends it and makes it look a little more natural. I don't try to put on my makeup to make it look like I'm not wearing makeup. If I'm wearing makeup, you're going to know I'm wearing makeup. So that's not an issue for me. Alright. Now I'm probably I'm not gonna use any cream blush or anything like that, so I'm probably going to go ahead and set with some powder. Because I bought some new ones I haven't tried yet, and I don't know that I want to try them today. I'll just go. So forever and ever, I used CoverGirl Clean Foundation and CoverGirl Clean Compact Powders. And I did that for like 5th grade until a couple of years ago when I started branching out. I still love these pressed powders and compacts though. I still think they're super smooth. They serve their purpose. Now, one thing I have changed is, because I used to always just use what came with it, and I still use it sometimes, but now I use just a big fluffy brush and just kind of go over everything. I still think that these powders smell really clean. They smell nice. And I'm just kind of going over all my face with this powder. I started doing foundation and setting it with powder because of teen magazine. So when I was a preteen learning to put on makeup, YouTube wasn't a thing. We had teen magazines that we would swap around, and maybe a self once in a while. And then my mom, of course, taught me a lot. But a lot of stuff I learned from teen magazine, and I remember specifically that that's where I learned to put down a layer of foundation and then a layer of powder. So I have that powder on. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a blush. And I really have no idea what kind of look I'm going for today. A lot of times I don't, unless I want it specifically to match my outfit. I don't have a set idea in my mind until I just start playing around with it. So right now I'm just trying to find a blush that's speaking to me today. I also forgot bronzer, so I'm going to go in with some bronzer really quickly. This is Honolulu by W7, but it looks like a nice bronzer color for me. So that's what I'm going to use it for. I'm just going to take a brush. And I would love to tell you what kind of brushes I use, but I've accumulated so many over the years. So the one I used earlier with my powder is by e.l.f. It's a Nebula Noir, I think that says. The font's hard to read. I do really enjoy this. It's super soft, super fluffy. This one is by Wet n Wild. It doesn't have a name. I feel like I got this just in a single pack at like Dollar Tree, maybe. I feel like they had some brushes there once. So for my bronzer, I always do this like sucking thing with my mouth here. Look like a fish. So I can see that bone there. That my cheekbone. And I try to do about halfway and go up towards the top of my ear. Now, it is looking a little darker than I sometimes like it to look. Also, if you don't have some sort of a color switch, mine of course is not name brand. You can get them super cheap on Amazon. I love these things because I don't always remember to clean my brushes as often as I should. Anyway, since this is a little bit darker than what, I'm just going to go back in with the same sponge I used for my contour. Just try to blend it out a little bit more, maybe pick up some of that product. Alright, and then blush. I'm going to use the Blush and Embody palette by BH Cosmetics that I recently bought. And try to find a good brush. Here it is. Alright, I'm going to use a Luxie brush, number 660. It says it's Precision Foundation. I'm going to use it as a blush. And I'm going to go in with the color Coral here in the middle. And whenever I do my blush, I do the opposite of my bronzer, and I make sure I poke my cheeks up so I can see where the apples of my cheeks are. And I don't like to use an incredible amount of blush. I never have, just enough to add a little bit of color to my cheeks. Because like this color on the end, pomegranate, while it is absolutely beautiful, I will probably never use it. I just think it would be way too dark for my preferences. Alright, so now I'm pretty much done with this area of my face, and the rest is mostly eyes until I get to the highlight step. So next I'm going to work on my eyebrows, which is something it's still very new to me, something I'm still working on, and I'm also trying to get them to grow back out. When I was a freshman in college, a long time ago, 2006, they were overplucked, severely overplucked, and they stayed that way for a long time, and they've just never really wanted to grow. So I've been working on trying to get them to grow out. And I did have a Facebook friend, a girl I used to work with, recommended Jamaican black castor oil, and I have seen results by using that on my eyebrows. So I've been trying not to like severely tweeze them, other than just if there's wild rogue hairs way out of place, or if I'm just trying to get like the shaping to match, because right now they're still not exactly even, but they are getting there. And I don't really see anything today that I want to pluck out. I usually just go ahead and brush them, and I have a few different products I've been trying, and it just depends on what mood I'm in that day as to what I actually use. So I'm going to go in with the LA Colors Browy Wowie pencil. It does have its own brush on the end. The other one was just more handy, and it's an angled kind of tip. And I'm just going to real lightly just kind of fill in the areas that don't have as much hair growth. And I don't draw them in super heavily. I just fill it in a little bit. And this side does not need anywhere near as much. And sometimes I'll just do a little bit where there is hair, just to make the color match up a little bit more, because finding the right color eyebrow products is also a struggle for me, because I've not, really found the right one yet. So I'm making do with the stuff I have bought. Alright, so after I just go in and fill that in a little bit, I'm going to go back in with a gel. If the color looks really nice and it looks the way I want it to, I'll do a clear gel. But more often I use a color gel. And had I not discovered brow gel, I still probably would be doing nothing to my eyebrows. But I did get, I forget the brand, but I got a brow gel in one of my subscription boxes, and I was like, oh, this is neat. Maybe I can actually use this. And I fell in love with brow gel, and now I buy more of it. Today I'm going to use the Benefit Gimme Brow. And I would love to tell you what color this is, but I don't see it on here. So I just go over all of the area. Try to get them all facing the right direction. Alright. I got a little bit on my eyelid. I just wiped it off with a sponge. I'm not super worried about it. And then I'm just going to go back in with my regular brush, make sure that they're not laying any crazy directions. I just always like to have my eyebrows done before I start doing my eyeshadow. I just think it's easier. And then I also go ahead and use this time to put some highlight on my brow bones. It's also something kind of new that I've been doing, but I do it almost every single time now since I discovered it. I think it just adds a little something, and I usually raise my eyebrows when I do this. I just do it kind of on the outside, go underneath my brow, and just add a little something. I'm using a Morphe illuminating pencil. It's a highlighter pencil, and that's typically what I use to do this, is some sort of highlighter pencil. See, not all Morphe products are bad. This pencil is fine, just not that foundation. And while I was doing this, maybe I did discover a hair that I want to rid myself of. He does seem a little lower than the rest now. Alright, so that is my brows. Now we'll start doing eyeshadow. I have been trying, I bought some eye primers, and the ones I've tried to use a couple of times I didn't enjoy. I thought it was just weird, and I already have foundation and a little bit of concealer on my eyelids, so I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm going to reserve those for days that I don't have a whole face of product on and want to do something with my eyes. I think I'm going to try out my Galaxy Chic palette from BH Cosmetics. I haven't tried it yet. I just think it looks so beautiful, and I'm honestly sad to mess up all the little planets. But we'll just dig right in here. Now, this palette does have no matte shades. If that bothers you, you'll have to get a different palette to get your matte colors in there. It does not bother me to have an entire face full of shimmer. Does not bother me in the slightest. Alright. Just trying to find what color I want to go out on the ends with. Ooh, no. I do need a matte shade for transition. Let me find a transition shade somewhere. No. I do not mind having a full face of shimmer, but ever since I started using a transition shade, I do like those to be matte. In this palette, I don't want to butcher the name of it there. It's another one by BH Cosmetics. And I have a lot of that stuff sitting around kind of near the top because I recently did a BH Cosmetics order when they were having their Memorial Day sale. But I do like my transition colors to be matte. The way they kind of blend in with everything else. And I'm not too worried about how sloppy I am with this because it's going to get covered up by everything else. It just, for me, it just kind of gives me a guideline of where I'm going to be going. And where I've already been. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. And that's okay. Another reason I like doing my brow highlight at this point, because that keeps me from going up too high. I really have a tendency to want to take my eyeshadow all the way up to my eyebrows, which is not really a good look. And that helps keep me from doing that. So I've just got the shade in there. They don't really seem to be named, so I can't tell you what color that is. And then every time I use a brush, I just go ahead and rub it around on my color switch. And then once every couple weeks, I do actually wash my brushes. Alright. So I'm going to come in on the outside with Pluto in the corner here. I always do a darker color down in the corner, and sometimes all the way across the bottom, just depending on how I'm feeling that day. I was trying to be real gentle with it that first round because I thought it was going to be super pigmented, and it wasn't. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the product. And I'm going to take it all the way across the bottom today. Once again, I may end up covering up a lot of that, and that's okay. Like I said, I don't really know what kind of look I'm going for until it happens. I never have a plan. One of my favorite YouTubers to watch is Jamie French, and she switches hands instead of reaching over. I cannot imagine doing that. My left-handed skills are non-existent, and I would look... It'll be real interesting. Maybe that would be a fun project for one day, is to do things left-handed and see how atrocious it turns out. Now, I actually like how these shades are, how that's working with my transitions shade. It's not at all what I had in mind, so it may change what I do with the whole look, and that's okay. Instead, it's kind of a story that's being told in real time. There can be twists and turns. So I sit here and rub the corners also. I have like a little bit of fallout and stuff, and I just always use my finger and smear it around. It's probably not the best way to go about it, but that's just what I've always done, and I still do it. Now, this corner to me is just not matching the other one yet. Okay. So now I'm going to figure out where I want to go next. Now that I see that on my eyes, it's far more purple than I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be leaning a little more towards the black side of things, but it is not. Not at all. So what I may do is, like, everything I had picked out from this palette now doesn't work with what I had in my head. So we're going to change it up. So I'm going to go in with Jupiter, which is actually the reason I chose the transition shade that I did, because I wanted to use Jupiter. I'm just going to go in with Jupiter here in the middle. And once again, if it's a palette I've never used before, I go in... I don't go in deep with my brush at first until I see how pigmented it's going to be. And I'm just going right in the middle. I'm not taking it all the way across. I like to use many colors in my looks. If it's a day where I'm doing, you know, minimal makeup, I'll just throw 1 or 2 colors on. But if I'm doing a full face, like I'm showing you today, I like all kinds of colors in there. And I am taking this on top of what I put on the bottom as well. I think if I just have that layer on the bottom, it helps it blend in a little better and transition over to each other a little better than if I just had just purple, just red. Alright, so I've got that color in the middle, and I leave all my brushes handy because I'll probably go back over some of these just to make sure they weren't lost as everything else happened. I'm going to go in with Mercury, which I hadn't looked at all until a second ago. It was not in my plans, but now it is. So I'm going to get some Mercury on my brush and go in right here on the inner edge. And I am taking that over into the red I just put on. That's okay. We're using many colors to end up looking seamless here. And I really do like how that color went on. That was very smooth. It's very shimmery. And now I'm going to go back in with that red color, Jupiter, because a lot of it was kind of lost. And I'm just going to go right back through the middle with it. I'm just going to barely pick up a little bit more of that original Pluto color. Bring out the edges again. So that is what my eyes are looking like at this point. Now, my inner corners, I've been looking at the sun here. I was thinking about the one in the middle, but sun has more purple than red, and if I feel like if it's purple there, it'll tie in with my outer edges. So let me find a teeny brush. I'm just going to go into my inner corners here. And there are no rules with makeup. Always remember that. There are no rules with makeup. Be as adventurous as you want to be. Try out products wherever you want to try them out. If you have a blush that doesn't work as a blush, but you think it'd make a beautiful eyeshadow, go for it. Just have confidence and don't be afraid, because there's a lot of things that I wear or do with my hair or do things with my makeup, and people are always like, oh, I could never do that, or I could never pull that off. Yeah, you can. Anyone can pull anything off. You just gotta do it. Put it on your face, put it on your body, and go about your day. Just do it with confidence, and you'd be surprised at the compliments you get. Alright, so I want to do something a little different than my color scheme is up top on the bottom. I often do that. So I think I'm going to try Comet, this green here in the middle. Now I also, for a long time, didn't do eyeshadow under the bottom. I always tried to use eyeliner, and it never worked. But the eyeshadow actually gives you kind of a smoother look anyway. And you can bring it down a little further if you prefer that. I just go right into my lash line with whatever color I want on the bottom. I always do weird stuff with my mouth. Sorry for the crazy looks. I really do like this Comet color. It is very pretty. But I like doing something a little different on the bottom than the top, just because I think it makes it pop a little bit more. Even what's on top will stand out. If I do just another gold color or another red color, it's just all going to blend in together and look the same. So now I have my under eye done. Now, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use a setting spray. I like using my setting sprays before I put on an eyeliner or mascara because I'm never going to know until I'm spraying it on there if it's going to make it run or transfer. Sometimes if it gets wet, it'll do weird things. So I go ahead and do a setting spray, and then I'll come back and do my mascara, my eyeliner, and I may pop on some lashes today. Alright, so let me find a setting spray. Only ever been one setting spray that I've ever tried that I absolutely did not like. I feel like it's by Elf. I can't remember. Anyways, it just made random like white like spots all over my face. I couldn't figure out why it did it. I even talked to friends and they didn't know either. So other than that, I've never found a setting spray I didn't like. Today I'm just using this sample size one that I have. It's by Ulta Beauty. It's their brand. Just plain makeup setting spray. Nothing fancy. It's not dewy. It's not matte. It's just going to keep everything in place. And after I do my setting spray, I always fan it to help it dry. And I didn't use that setting spray for any particular reason. It was just the one that I had sitting out. I keep a bag with like stuff I can easily pack and take on the go, or stuff that I can use for any daily look. And that just happened to be in that bag. Okay, so I had to quit filming for a second to deal with some other things. Started coughing, my eye was watering, so I just went in with a tissue, but I made sure to use a tissue on the other side in case it looked uneven. Now back to eyeliner. I always do my top eyeliner, and then I do my bottom waterline. Electric Teal Shimmer by Julep here. I think this will look good with these other colors, so I'm going to use this on top. It's a gel pencil. So if it's a cream or a gel, I can actually use it on top. If it's just a regular pencil, I have trouble. Just because my eyes are hooded and the skin likes to drag. And I'm one of these people. It just helps me if I pull it taut. I can see better where my line needs to go than if I just have my eyes relaxed. I also cannot do winged eyeliner. I've tried, I've practiced, and I just stopped trying because I cannot do winged eyeliner, and it's okay. I've just learned to, I'm never going to have a cat eye, and I'm okay with that. And that is a very pretty color. It went on very smoothly. Because I did do a color eyeliner and not black, I'm not going to put on false lashes today. That's just something I don't like to mix, because it's harder for me to make it look natural. Because if I do false lashes, I always go back in with a black pencil or black liquid eyeliner to make it look seamless. And if I put lashes over that, you're not going to see the pretty Electric Teal Shimmer. So, no lashes today. Now, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do on the bottom. I could do black. That would be fine, but I feel like I've got something I could do rather than that. Okay. So I do have a gold colored cream eyeliner. These are lip liners or eyeliners, whatever you want them to be. So I'm going to use this on my bottom waterline. Just because I think it'll tie in with the gold and the upper shimmers. And then I'm afraid if I put black in this look, it's going to totally change it, and I'm not going to be happy with it. And sometimes it's just choices you have to make in the moment. It's It's not really showing up like I was hoping. I mean, it's there. It's showing up a little bit. It's just not very dramatic. The other eye's showing up a lot better than this one. Okay, we're just gonna roll with it. Before I do mascara for the lashes, and I'm telling you, do not neglect your lashes. Curl them, use mascara on the bottom lashes. You would not believe the difference it makes. Because I've had people tell me, I've never put mascara on my bottom lashes, and I'm like, just do it, girl, just do it. One seems fine. So this is W7 Big Lash. So, sorry, my dog was making a weird noise. Alright. Always do my top lashes first. And I kind of put the wand at the base, and then I kind of blink down instead of moving the wand. I let my lashes move through the wand. Alright, just do that a few times. And I'll just keep going through until I'm satisfied, and then I may go back and fluff up the ends a little bit. And I don't re-dip to do the bottom, because I have teeny tiny bottom lashes. And if I have a ton of product on there, it's just going to make a mess. And there I am doing the weird things with my mouth again. And some of those just seemed a little bit clumpy. I'm just trying to get out the clumps and go back over it a little bit. So there's my mascara. And there's the eye look. I'm digging it. So now it's time for my favorite part. It's time for highlighter. The Moonchild. And the colors are so pretty. And I figured since we already doing Galaxy Chic that we would do more space stuff. So we have star and blue moons and stuff. So it just seemed appropriate. I do have a favorite brush that I use for highlighting, if I can find it. Yeah, so I had this brush come in an Ipsy, I think it was. And it's a Luxie brush. It's the 249. It's double-ended, and I like this one here. For me, this is the perfect highlighting brush. So, I think I'm going to see what this gray color called Star. I think I'm going to see how it does. Now, a lot of people don't like weird color highlighters. They just want white and bright. That's fine. But I don't care. If it's shimmery, it's shimmery, right? It does seem a little more purple than gray. I mean, it's a pretty good shimmer. I brought this one down a little far, so I'm just gonna use my finger and... So I put highlighter here, like under my eyes and my little upper cheekbones there. And I'm going to go in with a different color for the rest of it, so I am going to swatch off my brush there. So I think I'm going to do the pink heart to do my other areas. So I'll also highlight on my nose. And I highlight basically the same areas I contoured, except I do highlight my Cupid's bow. It's something that I enjoy. And that has a lot of pink in it, pink undertones. Alright, so I've done my highlight, and now we'll do our lips, and we will be done. So now I gotta figure out what color I want to do my lips in. And sometimes my lips are one that I have to just try something, maybe wipe it off, and do something else, or add something else to make it work. So I'm gonna try this Huda Beauty lip strobe. That's her purple. Yeah, that might work. I don't know. Because it says lip strobe, it doesn't really say liquid lipstick. This is the color Fearless. It's a metallic lip gloss. So it's not a liquid lipstick, so it's probably not going to dry down very well. Probably should have used this as a topper. But I think it'll be okay. It will serve the purpose. I always keep like a tissue handy. Like I don't like blot. Sometimes I just need to clean up my edges. And this is really runny. Yeah. But I do like that color. Alright, so that is my makeup routine. I hope you like it. Maybe you got a couple of tips. Once again, I apologize for the poor lighting. I will, as always, make a Facebook post with this look, and maybe the pictures will give you a better idea of how it really looks. Alright, thank you, friends. Bye.